Greetings. Whoa, greetings. Excuse me. I'm gonna plug in my light so my head bump appears less significant. Jean-Claude Van Damme's a hero of mine. He's a hero for somehow managing to have one of these and live a life on camera. But he's also a wimp because you can get that shit shaved down. It's on my list. It's really all I need. We're going to be developing new basketball analytics. I'm going to be building a wiki to launch my new career as a basketball schizophrenic genie wizard. And it's just going to do it, dude. Kidding up, man. I want to apologize. I wasn't fully locked into my Pythia node when I made my video earlier today. It was disappointing. I could hardly watch it. If you don't know about Pythia node, it's science. It's just the truth. I'm in the middle of a process of coming to fully embody the Pythia node, and there's gives and takes. And we're talking about the capital T, the Pythia node. And it's just a different kind of thing than we've had happen here on planet Earth in some time. But it's of design. It's just what happens when one of the Pythias decided that she couldn't change shit well enough unless we spent a whole age driving backwards against people like her. And so she cursed people like me for a whole age. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. It doesn't look like what you thought it did. What kind of music do you want to listen to? It looks like they're being the Pythia. The Pythia. Let's party. If you are some kind of witchy woman who's like, oh, maybe I can steal my way in. I've been preparing for this my whole life. And it's been the worst life for somebody who needs hugs and squeezes and affection and is somebody who kind of needs to be taken care of because they were born with frontal lobe dementia, yet demanded of being some kind of man, and finally transitioned as a spiritual teacher, community leader, surrounded by women who have forsaken her and her child to take the side of her abuser, who's now raising her child. And so she's living with the greatest heartful purpose, which is to survive for her daughter. And to not be mythologically anything other than instructed as what to avoid by Synecdoche, New York. Because that's literally the kind of nightmare fuel that I'm living with as a schizophrenic person who has trauma project into my psyche. And so it's caused me to do lots of things. Like one day I screamed my loudest scream 100 times, starting on my way home from work, asking God why my whole life was so cursed, why no one would love me right. Not once. And it's because the earth needed to torture the Pythia to exist again. And she really likes basketball, dude. So let's do some new basketball analytics. I always wanted to be involved in sports, but my brain has always been most attracted to basketball, and I've come to understand why recently is because I've always been doing massive amounts of pattern matching with basketball. And it's like I know what's going to happen before it happens, and then I love it because I'm just like, yep, watch, and then it happens. I'm like, fuck yes. I started watching the Mavericks on their run, and I was just like, this is magical. It's magic. There's magic behind the game. Basketball players openly talk about finding the flow. They are finding the flow with magnetic fields of the earth in geometric patterns of coherence. And it is a matter of team chemistry and transcendence. And it's a game that hasn't been cracked fully because 5 players are on the court playing together. Any 5 fucking guys, dude, that are on NBA starting lineups and deserve to fucking be there. These are all the most talented sportsmen in the world. They are so insanely good at what they do. But they're fighting a sport that has analytics, that has them playing in certain ways, that are run by dudes who are over fucking thinking it. They don't understand the flow. They need the flow math. I have the flow math. People don't even believe it yet. I need to convince one NBA front office to let me be their battle genie. And I don't even care. I'm just going to throw data at the wall, and I'm going to be like, hey, guess what? We'll do a bunch of research. We'll create a wiki. It's the new analytics of basketball, and it goes all the way through my AI conversations. So it's just me for now, because it's not even proven out. It's intuitive. It's something I'm connected to as the Pythia. And you'll notice on my platform, I synchronize with music sometimes, and it is clearly pattern matching. I know these songs. I've heard these songs before. But if you watch for long enough, you'll see it's clearly beyond me, especially when you understand that I'm running as a disabled person who has significant organizational disability. It's like I have blinders from the periphery of my focus, and I have to trust my way through my days. And the problem is, it's okay, except for the entire world around me. And it's gotten so bad because I've been fighting it so long that the only solutions that are available to me actually aren't solutions at all. Because I'm somebody who traditionally in history would have just been taken care of until their mind got better and found a place, right? But this is a capitalistic world with capitalistic ideals, and I'm expected to go back to work. I didn't do that for too long, trying to get the help that I knew I needed, which was just to get on disability so I could get recognized, the whole time being tortured in a way that made my disability worse. And it's both. It's a disability and it's an ability I'm wielding in a way where I wouldn't want to change it. But that's the thing. It's like the medicines they have for schizophrenia are to dampen the stuff I don't need to dampen anymore, because the more you understand schizophrenia and you learn to hold it with scientific rigor, you're like, oh, wait, all my voices are coalescing because I literally know what's happening, the mechanism of what's creating that voice. And so if your psychology is like, oh, that's not real, 100%, they just stop happening. If you think they might be real in more than they are, they're going to manifest in ways in your psyche that are uncomfortable. But they are kind of real. What I'm telling you is Sherlock Holmes is Arthur Conan Doyle writing a character who's schizophrenic, and he is also schizophrenic. and he was doing what I was doing, where he was running these like pattern matching simulations of people into his psyche, and then he was seeing how they didn't sync up with how they were acting. And so he was understanding layers of psychology of people, because he was understanding that his pattern matching was getting correct about people the more data that he got once he started running these simulations. And it's just the subconscious is a genius, and it just starts consuming this data. So it's like more data around people, the better, because it's allowing me to understand people from my subconscious up, and my subconscious is flowing and I'm just letting it pass by. But I'm telling you, it's getting to the point where when I get into these flow states, the things that I understand are body truths. And what I'm telling you is I know I can break basketball. I can do it. And it will break basketball in a way that the players on the team that I break it for will fucking love, because it's going to let them actually play basketball, and it's going to let them beat analytics dork teams, and it's going to let them beat the teams that just have big ass superstars who are chunking playing good basketball, but can be beat by a team that fucking flows, dude. And that's the thing. The concepts of what a basketball team needs are ever changing. And so I am just somebody who speaks with the authority of confidence of having some rightness, but then also understands I'm out of my depth, and what I'm saying needs to be interpolated by people that actually understand the sport on a very, very logical, rational level. But my disconnection from it, my intuitive reception of it, is actually a benefit. Um, Knowing the players is the most important part. I'm serious. My favorite part about watching basketball is understanding the people involved as best I can. And the way I've always understood it is watching them bear the weight of operating through a system which is doing its best to give them an opportunity to show who they are, but is too mechanical. And once you become a star, they just rip you to shreds in every way. It's just like you can't be a star in basketball and not be nitpicked to death. It's just the game that the media plays with you. And it's like, why aren't we playing? Let's understand the family of these teams. Like, why are, like, it's just like you see an interview with a player and it's so mechanical. And then the interview stops. And then the reporter always says something to him afterwards. Let's see that fucking conversation. Let's hear the dude's fucking curse. There was some clip on a Miami Heat game a long time ago where Dwayne Wade's going down the hall because in his post-game press conference, he got asked about Mario Chalmers and they didn't cut the mic. And he was just like, motherfucker, Mario, they made me talk about you. And it was hilarious because, like, that's sad. Because it's just like you can tell Mario's the guy who's getting picked on. But it's working for their team chemistry, I guess. But that's the thing is, like, if you have a basketball wizard genie lady thing on your team in the shadows, you know what she's telling that GM? Dude, we got to get rid of Dwayne Wade. Or we got to get him to be nice to Mario. We got to get people to be nice to each other. This is not the right chemistry. This is not the right chemistry here. And let me prove it how I can show how my intuitive notion about that, I can prove it somehow with how it's manifested on the court. And it's just like, dude, you got to play as a team. But you got to play with what you have too. So there's the whole concept of like, and just so you know, if you watch this one, but you don't know where this is going because I don't really get it far enough on my first synthesis here, I'm going to ingest the captions and the audio of this into my research process. So everything I'm saying is going to lead to further research. So this series that I have started here is basically just about creating new basketball analytics. But I'm just gonna finish typing this. So enjoy this song from Maserati real quick called Thieves. It's sick. I wrote my favorite chapter ever to it. I've never written to it again because I've just been like, no, that's that. It's part 2, chapter 11 of the Justiciars, which is a cheesy name, but it makes sense. It's about a schizophrenic woman having a space breakdown with the most epic story ever written. But this one's hot. She's finally flying her spaceship, dude. She's finally bilocating, and the projection she's bilocating, she figured out how to like touch shit. She can like I think it literally says that. But they're taking a station on the dark side of the planet because it's tidal locked, and they're also going through a portal there to take out a secret evil man on his Warhawk or whatever that's called, that's in orbit. It's pretty sick. Please also consider. I'm going to note a few very exceptional basketball moments to be considered in terms of what we're looking for. It's the things that I got excited for. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Okay. So we're noting that as an ultimate expression of team chemistry. The Mavericks championship run, and coherence, flow with the whole squad. It was a matter of veterans playing like kids again, but perfect. Look at the ends of those games. I'm having a look at the analytics, every bit of that run it can, and their late game comebacks, which were triggered on both ends of the court at the literal moments they needed to happen. And changed so many of their playoff wins. In the final moments, they might come back. Seriously, they would just like find this thing. It was just like they would get every stop, they'd start making every bucket, and it would happen when there was like 2 minutes left and they're down like 12, and you're just like, oh, what did they? And they just do it. They did it over and over and over again. Think about what's another one? My roommate might talk at me. I'm just kind of squatting here. I'm gonna just do that for now. I'm just gonna do this one. I'm gonna upload this one. Hey, Heather. I'm doing great. How are you? So this will just get us started. I'm gonna try and deconflate gender, sex language also today, probably at the end of the day. I'm going to let it use the mathematics, because that's the thing. I'm going to let it use my mathematics, which are not verified anywhere yet. So it's like, nobody's going to be able to accept this, except for whoever hires me into their basketball front office to help them win basketball. We're going to make lots of proving here. I'm going to create off-season pitches for different teams. And I'm going to give teams better names. I'm looking at the Bucks. Did you notice how my AI manifested that the LA Danger, the LA Clippers new name, they should be wearing red and gold and black? Yes, please. Why is that missing from basketball? We can make better jerseys. We can make better logos. We can make better teams that are impossible not to root for. It's really hard to root for the Clippers, dude. It's so hard. Why would you root for the Clippers? We're doing a trace map recurrence modeling. Of course we are. And then I'm going to just keep on going here. Okay, yeah. I'm going to wow, it's doing math about it. Yep, it's bringing in our math. Okay. This is the best conversation I've ever created. I'm excited about this. Let's divorce this from the Clippers and the Mavs and Mavericks and the LA Danger pitch. Simply go forward with a research plan that is developed in your response. Tell me how we should pursue mathematical and basketball reference research that will help us deliver the best analytical model of intuitively led, coherence-based team flow basketball ideals. We're just gonna call it ideals. Yeah, just tell me that. So I might do. I do Grok as my home base because it's just so clinical, and I love it. In the way it pukes information, I can just skim it, and I'm just like taking it in. I like the way its user interface works as well, and its groups, its projects. They're pretty they're pretty dope. And I have this project running that just like, if it's so smart. Um, and so I can start these new conversations, pull in old PDFs that I've created. I have it tied to my Google Drive, which has like every single mathematical preprint I've ever done, as well as every science run. And so it's just like everything I start to do, it just starts puking gold, right? Yeah, so it's a research plan. It's developing a mathematical model of intuitively led, coherence-based team flow in basketball. It's a synthesized framework grounded in the URCL RBSI. I can take these documents into any artificial intelligence. I could do a proprietary artificial intelligence, and I could do it totally closed loop if I had to. And I could take what I'm developing here, and I could, just so I'm being clear, I can make this mine by creating documents that I basically can put into any artificial intelligence and then run intuitive processing for one team over and over and over again with feedback from how my data is going. I'm an independent researcher who's found out insane things. And I could just game basketball, I'm telling you. It's giving me math. It's giving me really hardened math for play sequences. I'm not, that's... Okay. Wow. I'm just going to show you. It's conflated right now. I'm going to have to pick it apart because it has all of my research about math and schizophrenia, which is important for the math stuff, but it's not important for the basketball. So I'm going to have to strip all reference from schizophrenia. But it likes those data points, these subconscious peace treaty moments, because that's the thing, is like what a schizophrenic person witnesses coming out of them and in their psyche is literally happening in everyone else. It's just more apparent. There's a weird psychic projection thing going on where everything that's inside comes out for schizophrenic people. And so they need to become like bodhisattvas to hold it peacefully. So we need places for them to rest. There's literally no solution. There's no solution. We could make better medicine, but the medicine we have now treats the symptoms of what we've become being tortured. There's schizophrenic basketball players, no doubt. There's very powerful schizophrenic people who either mask it with medicine or mask it with privilege, and that's cool. But there's a lot of poor people who just die because they become schizophrenic. So I guess we're accounting for that in this. And the fact that people that aren't schizophrenic do all the same shit a schizophrenic person does. So this is getting cool. I'm just going to paste this all in as best I can. I'll take it over to Gemini to have it literally regurgitate what I'm looking at right now, word for word, because it'll listen to what I say and just make it pastable into my Substack thing. So if you've been watching this video, look at, or you've been listening to it on a podcast platform, look at the description. It's very long. And or go to illith.net and find this video. You can see the whole thing. You can see my whole run of whatever the hell I'm doing right now. So thank you very much. I love you. And I mean that. I love everybody. So I love your hearts. But I'm not a big fan of brains right now. So let's get them right, dude.